What's this place called?
This is, yeah, Yacht Harbour, Spanish town, Virgin Gorda.
Just come back from the baths and it was awesome, and maybe we'll come back here, I don't know.
I'd love to do it again.
Definitely recommended.
On the hit list, yeah.
And but it's a little bit rolly here, so I think we're going to up anchor and we're going to move round to, what's it called? Gorda Sound?
Yeah, Leverick Bay, which is up in the north of Virgin Gorda.
Lovely bit of sailing.
Yeah, I love it here.
God, your hair's awesome today.
Colour or the shape. Nice, sort of salt. No, it reminds me of the Spanish Rias, but tropical version. Just lots of enclosed, protected water. The whole of Drake's Channel never sees any big swells, really. So it's almost flat calm, but you've got a nice breeze blowing all the time from the south-southeast. Keep you cool. I mean, you can just cruise around.
This is my sort of sailing, I must say.
Perfect, you know.
Yeah.
This is holiday sailing, really. It's not hard work sailing. Bigger than I thought it was. I thought it was nice. Looked about that wide, drilling through the eye of a needle. The pass is big enough to get an oil tanker through. There's just nothing left of anything really. No. We just have a look through the binoculars. There's that beach bar. Oh, there's something going on there because there's a boat there, but it's just trashed. Nothing's been rebuilt yet. It's just.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
They've done a good job. I would have thought this would be full of wrecks. So I think they concentrated on tidying up the lagoon itself. I mean, there's trashed vessels all over the place.
But the thing is, what surprised me is there are there's like a handful of sailing boats here.
Yeah, I would have thought that there'd be loads of people here and one beach bar and each place open and it would be doing a decent trade, but they've not.
They've hit hard, weren't they?
It's, 6 months now?
Yeah.
Months.
God.
So we're going to go and have a look at Bitter End, which is at the sort of more eastern side of the lagoon.
Where we're pointed right now.
Yeah. It used to be a sort of yachtsman's haven with all sorts of good stuff like provisioning, bars, an English pub, which we're looking forward to finding out if that's back open in any kind of way.
Get a pint of ale, Ben.
It would be amazing, but I don't think I'm going to get a pint of ale today.
No. Yeah, I think it's still going to be pretty trash, so we'll go and have a look anyway and see what's on. So we're just approaching now, and I've just zoomed in with the camera to have a close look, but this place is trashed. Like every building is just completely trashed. Just piles and piles of rubble. Poor people.
A lot of this lagoon, in fact most of it, is too deep to anchor in for us, because if I put down 16 metres plus the anchor, my windlass won't lift it. And the only spots that are shallower are full of moorings that you're not allowed to use anymore because of the hurricane.
Yeah, not even that. I mean, it's the fact that the shallow bits are full of mooring buoys. They should leave them for anchoring, and the really deep bits have mooring buoys because you don't need the depth.
No, that's a good point.
So, what are you doing, Ben?
Finally, we've got to the point where our tender just won't hold air. I mean, look at it. It's completely trapped.
Completely saggy.
It's what it is. The fabric is actually it's just a massive cloud that's gone by. It didn't slow down at all. Anyway, yeah, the fabric has worn through so much. It's literally the air is bleeding through the bare patches of fabric. Had Jai do that in the Canary Islands, and that sort of held, but now it's leaking where it's starting to peel off there. It's coming through there. Got like all the bit at the bottom. You see the flaps down there. They should just peeled all the way back. So I've got to glue that back on. I mean.
So bearing in mind we bought this dinghy for 100 quid off a guy in the pub back in England.
Yeah.
It's lasted 3 years.
Yeah.
But
now we're in a situation where we do not have enough money to buy another one. But I've got half a pot of glue and a decent amount of fabric left, so I'm just going to use it all up, try and cover it as much as possible.
Yeah.
And hopefully it'll last us to the States, and then if we leave the boat, then I'll have to go and earn enough money, and if we ever come back, we'll be looking at either. I want to build one. I want to build a little rowing boat myself.
Yeah, but at the moment we're pumping it up like 3 times a day, aren't we, just to use it?
Yeah.
So you're going to get it up on deck to do it?
Yeah. Never pump the winches.
No.
I think this is really way too far gone now. I mean, I don't think I'm going to get anything to stick to that. But the idea is one big patch there, another one there, and another one like this bit here. Okay, so recently we've been having problems with our main radio. It seems to make us just running static noise. You can't tune out by changing the squelch. I don't know if you can hear it in the background, but it's sort of making that noise now. That's the handset. And the handset you can move around to 3 positions. You can have it by the chart table, you can have it in the pilot house, or you can have it on this socket here. But the main part of the radio is hidden under Nicky's bunk, and it's this bit here. And I found today that the end of the cable, which I've just replaced and resoldered, I think had the tip of it was broken off inside, and if I move the wire I can get the static noise to go away every now and again. So I'm just about to plug it back in and see if it works. Well, that didn't work. What I found is if it's only the centre core that's connected, the radio seems to work fine, and then as soon as the outer sheathing part is connected, it's just full of static. So I think basically the wire that runs from the main radio unit and then goes up the mizzen mast must be damaged and earthing on some part of the aluminium somewhere. So that's quite a big job. I haven't got the cable to do it, so at the minute I'm going to leave it. It seems to work really well just with the centre core connected. And I'll leave it on all day and see if we can hear any more than I can hear on the handheld. But yeah, that's another job.
So we just came over to Leverick Bay last night, basically because it's the only place in the Gorda Sound that has like a bar with Wi-Fi, and we needed to upload one of our YouTube videos. So we did that. That's behind me there. And this morning we're upping anchor and we're heading over to Tortola. Probably going to anchor, what, near Road Town?
Yeah, either Road Town, or if that's too busy or not comfortable enough, maybe go down to Soper's Hole or Sopper's Hole.
Yeah, which is going to be protected from the swell, isn't it, down there?
Yeah,
So.
it'd be a lot nicer, yeah.
Yeah, and it's what, an hour or 2 maybe to get over there?
Only a couple of hours sail to Road Town and maybe another hour to Sopper's Hole. We'll be on that. So.
Cool.
Looking forward to sailing.
Yeah.
Determined to sail today. We're not no motor, not after the horrible motor sail we had to get here. We've got plenty of time. So we've got 4 or 5 knots of wind and a boat speed of 2 to 2.5 and a wind angle of approximately, well, it's a beam reach or just aft of. So she's not quick in light winds, but she's not too bad either. Not when we've just taken on water. Got full diesel tanks, so that's what, 600 litres of diesel and 600 litres of water, so that's over a tonne, 1200 kilos, plus we've just taken on loads of provisioning. So yeah, we're doing, for a short rig boat with no real light, this is under her standard sail set, with no spinnaker or anything, so I think we're doing alright really. Seems to be, as a general rule of thumb, this boat will do about half the wind speed in roughly any conditions, as long as the wind's coming from no more forward than 55 degrees. As soon as you push it further than that, then you sort of do less. Well, no, maybe 45, 50 degrees. Anything inside that, and she's pretty useless really. But then it's a long keel ocean boat, so yeah. It's half. So if we're doing 10 knots of wind on the beam, you do 5, roughly, maybe just a little bit less. Downwind is a little bit less without the twin head sails, but if you use them, you tend to get back up to that half thing, just about maybe 4 to 4.5 knots with 10 knots behind you, something like that. Until you get to, obviously, I suppose 15-20 knots, and then you max out hull speed, so which is about 7.5 knots. So that's the way she goes.
That's Necker Island, Richard Branson's house. Should we just pop in and see Dick on Necker?
Oh yes, Dick. Yes.
We did promise him we'd swing by.
I haven't seen Dick for quite some time.
No.
I'll get my board shorts and fancy wine shirt on. We should go for dinner.
He promised us a bottle of his special from his wine cellar, which was untouched by the hurricane, thank God.
He promised me a ride on his ostrich.
That was a big rolly wave.
Yeah, there's a few lots.
So we're just making our way around the, what are we on, like the northeastern corner?
Isn't this the northern tip?
Northern tip.
Northwestern tip.
And we're going to go down through here, and then we're going to carry across to Tortola, which is over there. We're having a nice sail. Got the twin head sails out. Lots of other people are motoring.
It's not a huge amount of wind, is it? What, 10 knots of wind?
But it's really nice. It's nice and flat. We're going to do some fishing, and we're actually just about to have a rum cocktail.
Do you say that out loud?
Yeah. Normally I don't encourage drinking rum before midday, but and it's only 20 to 12.
20 to 12. Oh my
But
God. We've been in the Caribbean too long.
yeah. No, I think it's that sort of day. It's Sunday.
Just wanna be alone. Just wanna be alone.
Rum punch.
Just wanna be alone with you. wanna come around, baby, it's cool. And if you wanna fuck around, baby, I do just wanna be alone with you.
What is that?
I don't know, but it was on the deck here, so it must have jumped out to avoid like a turtle or something. I don't know.
Turtles that eat seaweed and nothing else.
Don't they eat fish?
I don't think so.
Do they not?
They're vegetarians.
I never knew.
Don't leave me here. Don't let me go.
What was your name again? I've seen so many of them come. Want me just play pretend? All your girls, they just wanna have fun. But it's the same old thing that we all see. Same old thing that keeps me keen. But I just wanna be alone with you. Just wanna be alone with you. The same old thing that keeps me around.
So we've just arrived in Road Town, Tortola, and we can hear some crazy drumming on the shore. So we're gonna go there and see what it's all about. From Tortola across to Norman Island, and we're going to anchor in the Bight. Quite a big anchorage, and just round the corner from it there are some caves which we're going to go snorkeling in. And yeah, we just decided at the last minute because we were on our way down to Soper's Hole, but we didn't really know why, so we decided to come across here instead. So we've got our new sail up that we got off our friend Martin from Princess Mia. And this is on the new stay that you put up, isn't it? Looks good though, it's good shape.
Nice colour.
Yeah, I like the colour.
Yeah, I think in 20 plus knots. If you're trying to work up wind, you can sheet. I can sheet this one between here and here because so you can get a lot flatter if you need it to be.
Whoop.
Yeah, this new sail means that now we can sail. I know there's really not enough wind. We were at 9 knots on a beam reach, so 9 knots apparent. And before we would have been able to sail effectively at 60 degrees, and now we can just about do 50 or 45 actually.
Which is awesome, because our
really
tacks
good.
were so big before.
Yeah, it's really going to help, and I think once you get to 20 knots, it'll be brilliant. You have to try it on a windier day.
Yeah. So this is the Bight, and it is totally packed with mooring buoys. So we're not going to attempt to anchor amongst them, even though, zoomed in, even though the charts say that it's still an anchorage, it's just packed.
Like an anchor mark here. That there, but it's just mooring balls, there isn't any space to anchor between them. And otherwise it's about 14 to 16 metres deep in the centre of the bay where there is space, so it's just too deep really, you swing around all over the place.
So we're going to just go around the corner here, and we're going to try and anchor nearer the caves because we want to go there anyway, so I'm hoping there's a space to anchor here. Just spotted some fishies in here we might actually try and catch. Don't know if you can see them on here, but they look quite a good size. Got one! It's quite big. I'm not sure what fish this is. It's very pretty. It's yellow and blue.
And it looks like we're going to get 2 beautiful fish fillets.
Yeah.
Just enough for 1 meal for 2 people.
Size one, wasn't it?
Yeah. There were some quite... there were definitely a few in there which were a fair bit larger.
Yeah, they were a bit more clever though, weren't they?
That's the thing, isn't it? They don't get to be bigger without good reason. Wow, the only bit that's left.
Amazing skeletal structure.
So here we are in the Bight of Norman Island. We're going to go round Treasure Point and explore these caves and do some snorkeling, and then in preparation for our long trip to the Bahamas, we're going to sail across to Sopper's Hole, which is over here, where there is customs for us to clear out, and hopefully a grocery store for us to stock up with some fresh veggies, and then it's a good exit out past Joss Van Dyke, and then we'll be going all the way on the outside of Navidad Bank and Silver Bank, so we'll be on the ocean side. Just because there's only 2 of us, it makes navigation and sleeping and things like that a lot safer. And then we're going all the way up, and we'll probably stop at Eleuthera Island, and that should take us, with the light winds we've got, probably 6 to 6.5 days. If anything goes wrong, we can stop at Turks and Caicos and anchor. You know, that's the first place we can stop. So the first 450 miles to there is nowhere for us to stop. It's just it would be a hell of a detour. We don't really want to have to make a detour, so we don't want to end up in Haiti, and we don't want to end up in Cuba. It's a dead calm day. Loads of debris in the water today and loads of seaweed. So this is Tortola, BVIs, which we can go to. That, I believe, is St Thomas, and we cannot because that is US VIs, and we'd need to have our US visas already to be able to visit there. So this is the Sopper's Hole customs arrangement at the minute. The building was completely destroyed, and now they're gallantly working under a tent. And we're talking to the guys there, they're really helpful. And they were saying, not just here, but just around the corner over there, at St John's, a recorded wind speed of just under 300 miles an hour, during Irma. I think it's just incredible.
And they were saying that when the ships arrived with the aid, that they didn't have, well, they did have supplies on board, but they were mainly just carrying body bags, and that's just really makes it
Sums
like
it up.
hit home. Yeah, it's just pretty horrendous. They just didn't think anyone would be able to survive that.
Yeah.
So.
And the lady over there was saying they're from, was it the next, what was the next, something Garden Bay? I can't remember the name. It's the next bay up anyway, and they were in a house higher up the hill, and they witnessed the houses, all the houses around the bay, being completely submerged by effectively a tidal wave of surf and storm surge that came in all at once. It just literally blasted the houses away and went over literally over a second-story roof. So it was quite incredible what's actually gone on here. And yeah, I think everybody's still stunned. They don't have the resources to rebuild, and they're not sure how to rebuild, because whatever they put back is likely to be flattened again by the next round of hurricanes that's coming in. What, less than 90 days now to the hurricane season? So it's 70 days. Yeah, and they've already, the weather organisations are already saying, judging by the energy in the oceans and the power that's available, the likelihood is they're going to get another 3 or 4 storms of similar size, maybe not quite so bad, maybe worse, no one really knows, and then they don't know whether they're going to get a direct hit again. So the will to just go and quickly rebuild and get everything up and running isn't there for good reason. People are sort of hedging their bets and I guess waiting for insurance money, and waiting for architects to come up with solutions to how you build buildings that can resist 300-mile-an-hour winds where those winds are full of debris. It's yeah, it's been an eye-opening experience for me. I wish we'd had more time to get to talk to people and find out more about it and even help. You know, not that we've really got the skills to help people that much, but it would be good. It would be good to have more time here. But we've got to get heading north. We're running out of money. And we've got to get back to the UK to work and save up some money. Catch in the morning.
Unidentified fish. Very nice and meaty. It's like a bit like sea bass, I suppose, a slightly oily fish.
It looks good.
But yeah,
it's quite a strong smell.
It is quite fishy. But at least now it's fresh.
Are we going to get cicatera?
No, it's not big enough. I think if you're alright, if you eat fish, like reef fish that are under a kilo, you're pretty much alright. But anything that's like, you know, bigger than this,
yeah,
then the ciguatera kind of accumulates in their bodies and then you get it. So I think we're safe eating fish of this size.
This is the forecast for our long trip to the Bahamas. It's about 800 nautical miles if we go all the way to Nassau. It looks like good wind strength at all 4 forecasts corresponding. Each line, each colour is a different computer model, but they all correspond until late on April 1st, and then they differ a little bit, but really we know that wind's going to drop off, and for us anything less than 10 knots and we're definitely motoring. Really anything less than 12.5 knots and we'd almost be motoring. So the wind strength is light for us. Good to start with, light. The big thing will be the wave data, and that's saying 2.7 being the biggest and then dropping off to almost nothing. So 2.7 for us is, again, even though it'll be beam seas of 2.7, that's fine. 2.8 there. If you look at that on a map, you get the wave data. That's now, if we just run that forward, so the peak of that is at Wednesday evening, and then it starts to drop off again. Until it drops off to almost nothing. And the wind, So starting off with light winds around the Virgin Islands here, but as we set off we've got, that's good wind for us, that's sort of 15 to 20 knots on just forward of the beam, so we will be heeled over, but we should be doing 6 knots at that point, maybe more. And the further on we go, so it's good, it's good, it's good, it's good, it's good. The winds start to come behind us a little bit more after the beam, which will slow us down, but at that sort of angle we can then flip out our twin head sails, so then we do better as the wind drops off. There's a wind hole that we're trying to get ahead of there by the looks of things on this forecast, and then I think from that point onwards then it gets, yeah, then there's nothing, so we'll be motoring in, which won't be too much of a bad thing, I don't think, really. You know, we'd rather not use any diesel, but let's try. I usually only try the yellow or the blue forecast, and don't ask me what the difference is because I don't know yet, but I will find out as soon as we've got some internet. Yeah, so strong winds at the minute. So this is projected leaving tomorrow morning. I've got to say it looks really good. Looks really good apart from the waves. You know, 2 meters no problem on the beam. 3 meters is uncomfortable, and depending on the rest of the conditions and the you know, the angle of it, it can make it a bit wet. I mean, usually it's fine. I think it'll be fine. See, this forecast is saying, there you go, that's coming in there, an area of 3 meters, 2 to 3 meters at on overnight Wednesday, Thursday morning. So yeah, that's absolutely, it's nothing dangerous. It might be a little bit uncomfortable, but I'd rather get that uncomfortable bit out of the way, make use of the stronger winds, and then, you know, end up stalling with winds nearer where we want to get to than leaving later, missing the swell and missing all the good wind, and then having to motor from the Turks and Caicos up. So yeah, I think we're set to go tomorrow morning. Wow. Mind blowing.